Okay, good afternoon again, everyone, and thank you, Yuri, for your introduction. Today's presentation is designed for people who are currently homeowners and who might be thinking to move to bigger or a smaller house. So you see the agenda on the screen, and today we will be talking about some specifics of selling and buying your principal residence. Obviously, people want to bigger or smaller house for different reasons, but it's important to understand the what involved in all these transactions. Remember when you bought your first home, it was perfect for two of you or one of you or one person. But now with a couple of kids and some ever shedding pets and maybe in-law living in downhall, that's not longer a case. So whatever you're already bursting out of your house or about to expand your family, the time to move a larger home might be arrived. So think critically about your goals and needs. So what do you really need? Determine whether bigger or smaller would be truly better for you. Consider resale value because sometimes when you move to high-end real estate, it may be not sellable as middle-sized house, or it may be located in a good location. So to sell it, it will be difficult in the future. Or sometimes it means buying it in a different neighborhood. So some people love their neighborhoods, and to buy a bigger or smaller house would mean to go somewhere else you don't want to go to. And definitely crunch your numbers. Just calculate if you can afford it. And for that, just go and talk to Ukraine Credit Union specialist about your financial uh, uh, options, what you can do. So, upsizing is not for everyone, but certainly it doesn't solve it because it doesn't serve certain problems. So, but upsizing generally offers a pretty good solution for in many different ways. So there are four main reasons people would upsize, and you understand. So your family grew bigger, so it was two or one of you, and now it's like three, four, five people living in the same space. Or you actually need more usable space. Let's say you're doing business or your spouse doing business at home, your kids needs more space, you need office or whatever, so you need bigger house. Or your lifestyle needs changed. Let's say your parents moved in and they cannot climb up the stairs. Or you have lots guests often coming from Ukraine, Poland, whatever places. So you need to host them somewhere. But sometimes it's not a good idea to buy a bigger house. You know, upsizing leads to more room. So and you have to fill this room. Let's say put more furniture, more stuff in there. So you have to buy it, spend your money. It will require more maintenance. So it's a bigger space. Yeah, you have to maintain. The roof is bigger, the windows, more windows to clean and or replace. So your property tax bill will go up, and your utility bills will go up too. So renovate it. Sometimes renovating your current home would be much more efficient. So you can add even extra rooms in your current home. So for this case, it's probably not a good idea to moving. Uh, Upgrading to larger home could result in difficulty selling in the future, which I mentioned previously, because it may be not the good location is good and maybe in the not sellable category. Larger outdoors entertainment spaces are more costly to upkeep. Let's say you got the huge pool and you have to spend like 5-6 thousand a year to keep that pool in a good condition. And living a house poor can be stressful home life too. I remember like 20 years ago, I've been working at one place and guy was coming. He was working 7 days per day and 12 hours per each day. And I was asking, you know, he was a pretty rich guy with a huge house, a good family. I was saying, well, why are you working on Saturdays and Sundays? And he said, you know what? I bought a big house so my family can enjoy it. But now I have to pay the bills, I have to pay the mortgage. So I just cannot stop working. I have to work 7 days a week. So it means, you know, sometimes you cannot enjoy whatever you have. Why downsizing? You know, 69% of homeowners, they say because they want to save money, they downsize. So here, it's many reasons, not just to save money, if you think about it. Um, but what is potential advantages to downsize? Yeah, definitely, which I mentioned, you save money, you have increased cash flow, so you spend much less money on the mortgage payments, on the property tax. So you have more time, fewer rooms, smaller spaces, cut down if your time is spent to clean and maintain them. Smaller home can reduce the time spent on household chores and tasks, and it gives you more time to enjoy yourself. It's lower utility bills. It costs less to heat and cool small houses. Typically, is not wasted space, so you don't have, you know, big rooms. So smaller homes, less square footage, decreased amount of energy expended. So yeah, you have less room to put the clothing on and buy the furniture for, and minimize stress, less responsibilities, more smaller workload, increased cash flow, greater flexibility. It's all together gives you, you know, reduced stress. So and but definitely has its own disadvantages. So moving a smaller home would probably result in selling, giving away, or throwing out furniture, books, kitchen supplies. Some people form emotional attachment to stuff and can't part with any of it. So I cannot live it because it's a sentimental value to me. So you have no room for guests if you're hosting a huge holiday dinner before, so you have to forget about this because now you have a smaller home, so no room for that. Out of town guests might need to stay in a hotel room when they come visit you. And space restrictions. So some homeowners report feeling cramped because there is less space in which to even walk through, and hard to get away from other family members and enjoy private, quiet time because there are fewer rooms to escape when they needed it. It's less prestigious because people sometimes look at you and say, "Oh, you live in a small house, you're probably poor." You know, it's kind of status thing, and you have changed your lifestyle. So if you used to go in the backyard and the front yard, you had a garage, and you moved to a smaller apartment, you don't have, so garage is downstairs on the street, so now you have to, you know, move an elevator. So no more backyard. You have to go to park. So that's a big changes, and especially for seniors people, sometimes it's a deal breaker. Uh, Market timing. So some people say, "Oh, when should I sell it?" Now, generally, selling in the whole hot, cold, or neutral market makes no difference, or small difference, because you selling and buying at the same time. For example, say in the neutral market, and you sell an existing home for 500,000, and you have 200,000 mortgage. So if just leave aside the closing costs, which may include commissions and title fees, your net proceeds will be like 300,000, 500 minus mortgage, 200, 300. Let's also assume that the seller could buy a smaller home for cash to 250. So put in 250 in your pocket. You get 300,000 and you buy a small apartment for 250. But if it's a seller's market, however, price have jumped 10%, let's say, so your existing 500,000 home might be worth 555 now. So, meaning smaller home for 250 would go up by 10% also to 278. So, result in 77,000 cash remaining. So, you get extra cash. If it's a buyer's market, say, uh, uh, prices falling 10% down. So when the existing home could be worth uh, from 500 to 450, but smaller home from 250 would drop to 225, resulting in just 25,000 cash to put in your bank. So it's a big difference, 77 minus 25 versus 25. So the best of both worlds would be selling on the seller's market and buy elsewhere in the buyer's market. But either way, the sellers could not end up owning free and clear smaller home. So take a pick. So look at the market. So you see the graph on the screen. Um, the thing is this: the prices on different homes, they fluctuate year over year, but also they fluctuate during the year. So some, let's say spring and early fall, they go up, but on the winter time they go down. So that's why people say, yeah, you can time the market. And now you can see the number of sales, they fluctuate widely as well. So they go up and down. So the springtime, you can see it goes up, number of sales, and in the late summer, they go down, and September, usually October, it goes up again a little bit and then drops down close to the year end. Okay, so now take a look at the mistakes that people make when they, oh boy. People make when they sell a house. Um, you're selling your home, and you won't be long before you're trading the house key and the sweet pile of money to find your next great adventure. But a home is one of the most expensive items you ever sell. So messing up will make your stomach churn, and it'll drop a bomb on your financial goals. So don't make those mistakes. So mistakes one. So you expecting to sell your house and you forget about the expenses you have. So when you sell the house, you have to pay your agent. And it's usually 5% plus HST. Some people can negotiate smaller than 5%, but still, it's quite a big amount. Closing costs. So you have to pay your lawyer, real estate fees, the registrations, and so forth. The staging cost. So you're preparing your house. Sometimes you need to buy some new furniture and put some extra stuff so it looks better, or service the cleaning ladies. Home inspection repairs. So you probably, if you have big problems in the house, let's say a leaking roof or something, so you, or the buyer will do the home inspection and point out, so you have to repair it before the closing, so you would have to pay for it. Seller concessions. So basically what I mean, so sometimes the seller would tell you, oh, you know what, I would like to buy your house and I will pay this price, but you have to leave me with this and this, or you have to replace the appliances, or you have to leave furniture in some room. So that you would have to pay to buy the new one or a replacement. Expenses to carry your new home. So sometimes people think, oh, okay, I will, move in a bigger house, and it's pretty nice and cool, but then you cannot carry that home because the mortgage payments, property taxes, and everything else will be much, much higher, and you have to calculate that, and moving expenses. So you can see the closing costs when you buy the house. on that slide. So the mistakes too, if you still owe the mortgage on your home, use a portion of your sale proceeds to pay off the remaining balance of your loan. So, but sometimes the mortgage and loans and everything you're planning to pay off, your proceeds are bigger than the price that you can get for your house. So when you sell the house, you basically still owe the money. So that's probably not a good thing to have. Another mistake is selling by yourself. It's a big one. Not using a real estate agent or going to for sale by owner route is a massive home selling mistake. Do you save yourself from paying commission to the agent? Yes, definitely. But you could miss the chance to make the whole lot money with the help of the real estate agent. So another mistake people making, they pricing it wrong. So pricing your home can be tricky. If your price is too low, you could miss out on the thousands of dollars of profit. Pricing too high, you could turn away serious buyers or run the risk of wasting weeks and months before you have to reduce the price to get an offer. Don't trust the internet. So don't trust the neighbors saying, "Oh, you can sell that house was sold down the street for this much, so you could sell it too." So ask real estate agent for comparable market analysis. Look at the real price. So setting the right price will make the sale quick and for the price you really want to get. So another mistake you can make is to hide in the major repairs. So think about buyer won't notice if your roof is leaking. No. In most cases, people put in condition technical inspection. So I remember we denied the mortgage in one case when in the basement there was crack. So it's a structural damage. So basically that house won't cannot be sold. The people what they did, they put some furniture to hide it behind it. But technical inspector they would notice it definitely. So don't do this. So make the inspection yourself, fix those problems, don't hide them because they will fire back. So another problem you can make is skimping on staging. Some people say, well, why should I, spend my money on staging? Especially, lots of real estate agent will offer that service, but that's a big mistake. Most sellers agent report that staging of their home dramatically impact on selling home faster. So you can sell home faster because it looks much better. Plus, you can get extra on the dollar amount on the price. So they say it could go between 1% up to 10% up. So it's nice, to get on the 200,000 home or 500,000 home extra 5 to 50,000 just for doing staging and spend like a few hundreds dollars to make it look nice. So next mistake which you better avoid is not clearing the clutter. So some people think, okay, whatever it is, so people, if they like the home, they would buy it. But piles of paperwork, misplaced toys, unkept furniture make your home look like a slob fest to buyers. And don't forget pets. You probably want to take, if you want to attract the buyers, so you better, clean it up so it has to be neat and look nice. It's the same as staging. So next mistake people do, they forgetting about lighting. So any real estate agent will tell you, so lighting is a key because when you replace 60 watt lamps to 100 watt lamps, so your room may look much brighter and nicer for the potential buyer. So another mistake, people make themselves photos, and that photos is not. They look bad on the internet or in the page. So make sure you make good photos. Um, Another mistake. So when you get an offer, sometimes no, not the offer, the showings. So you don't let the agent handle the show. So you want to yourself to present because you may tell something magical to people and they would like the house. So basically, you're not professional, so you actually can bring the value of the down, and people wouldn't buy your house. Taking the low offers personally. So if you get the offer and you take it personally, yeah, so let it handled by professional. That's the same as the previous one. And if you don't like your real estate agent, fire as soon as possible, because you signed the contract and you stuck in the market. The prices, the season may go down, as you could see on the graph. Uh, and then you would have to wait several months to put your property back on the market and sell it. Another big question is what, because you selling and you buying another property. So what should you do first? I hear that very often. Should I buy first or should I sell first? Generally, it's better if you sell your existing home before you buy a new home. And the reason, yeah, that's just simple, because when you sell a home, you know the price, you know how much money would you have, you know how much you can rely on, so you can feel confident when you go on the market. But again, speak to your agent, because your agent will tell you what's the market now. Is that better to buy because it's risky? It's a seller's market and stuff to buy something. So you may have you may spend lots of time looking for, and you wouldn't have enough money um, to until you buy the house. So financial consideration. So it's important task. Um, so what you need to do before um, when you're selling and buying. So first, yeah, you're revisiting your existing mortgage agreement. So you need to go to Ukraine Credit Union specialist, talk, what's my mortgage agreement, or if you have with another financial institution, you go there as well and talk, what's the conditions, what my penalty would be, is that possible I can break it, can I port my mortgage, can I transfer somewhere else, what if I refinance, and so many questions. So go and talk. So what you can do with your existing mortgage before you go on the market. And before going on the market, you definitely need to arrange a new mortgage, get the pre-approval. So go, because your circumstances change. Probably your income wouldn't support the new mortgage you get. Probably your credit is not as good as it used to be, and you don't know about this. Um, so maybe market change. So go and get the pre-approval. So Ukraine Credit Union will give you pre-approval for 6 months, and we can hold the rate for 90 days. So you will have enough time to sell your house and go in the market and buy another one. So that's so important. Don't forget this. And you need to financially connect both sales and purchase. Uh, or in other words, you bridge two purchases. You sell your house, you buy another one. So what are potential advantages of bridging? So why do you need bridge? Um, Definitely, you can see very often, unless you buy and sell in one day, so you can use the money from your sale to the purchase. But again, you have to move from one place to another place during one day. So it's lots of stress. Sometimes it's not doable because you have to prepare the new house, do some renovation there, so it's not livable. So you would like to um, put them at different dates. So it can provide you peace of mind and flexibility. It just gives you the time. So you can prepare your move, so to pack it up and do the renovation and move maybe in several days, not to rush, not to overpay for moving services. It also allows you to use the equity from your home for a down payment on your new home. So can you give the funds and time to make upgrades? So as I mentioned, so you can renovate your house, the place, do repairs, whatever you want to do additions to. So when you move in, you don't have to live in the construction zone. And definitely some potential disadvantages of the bridge loans. Because the bridge loan, it's a short-term loan. So usually it could be up to 6 months, usually between 1 to 6 months. But again, the interest on this loan is much higher. Usually it's a prime plus two. For example, today prime is 285, so your rate will be 485 for time of the loan. Usually, financial institution will tell you you have to pay at least for 30 days or sometimes for 60 days, even though you use just 7 days or 5 days, but you still have to pay for 30 days of usage of the loan. Plus, it would be fee involved to set up the loan, the lawyer involved. So it's easy to set up, but it may be costly. Also it's a risk, if your house doesn't close, so you have no money to pay it down, so that could be disaster. So consult Ukraine Credit Union lender to learn more about the potential benefits and drawbacks of the bridge loan finance. Get it pre-approved. See if you qualify, and everything, all numbers will, come to place. You can see the example of the bridge loan on the screen. The person is selling the home in Toronto for almost 1.2 million. So you can see they have a mortgage, the first mortgage for 585, and they have the second home credit for 146. Yeah, there will be some legal expenses. I put 1,500, and so they pay commissions and HST and a commission. So totally, they have to pay almost $800. So they live with $390,000 from the proceeds, but the closing is a month later than they purchased the new. And the new home they purchased in a Barrie, and it's a much bigger home, but for less money. So you can see the purchase price is 175 for the bigger home. So they have their own 60,000, which they saved, and they need to mortgage up to 80%, and it will be 775. So they will need 240,000. They're locking before until they sell the house. So they have their 60,000, 775. They will get the mortgage. So they need 240, and definitely you can see the legal fees 2,000 and land transfer tax almost 18,000. So in total, they need to spend almost 260 to close the deal, and but 390 from the sell the house they will get in a month. They get the bridge for 260, so they can get into new house. They can renovate it, not to rush to move in, and once they sell the house, they will get 390, so they will pay 260 and live with 130 dollars for savings. So I mentioned we were talking about sometimes you need to do the staging, sometimes you need to repair, sometimes you don't have money for moving, because you spend everything on putting down payment and legal fees. So how to finance them? Ukraine Credit Union will offer you big range of different options. And again, you need to talk to the lender, the specialist, to find the best option possible in your particular situation. Let's say you need to renovate the washroom or replace the windows or fix the room. So you know exactly how much you need. So renovation loan will be probably the best solution because it's a lump sum amount. You know exactly how much you need. Actually, we have now campaign for express loans, so you don't have to qualify for any income. All you need to do is just good credit and good relationship with Ukraine Credit Union, so you can get that loan up to 30,000 for no questions asked. So go and see your lender. So in cases you don't know exactly how much you would need, you think you may need whatever between this and this amount, the line of credit may do, and it's small amount. So unsecured line of credit, it costs you nothing to set up. You have good credit, we'll give it to you. But if you need to do the bigger repairs, or even in a new house, you need to do like 50,000, 100,000 to renovate or replace something, you better arrange the second mortgage. Again, if you know particular amount, the second mortgage, conventional mortgage would be the best solution. Or if it's staged, like you need the several amounts and you don't know exactly how much and when you need them, probably home equity line of credit would be the best. So go and see the lender, talk about those 4 options I just discussed. So what you need to do on the closing. So definitely you need to pay off your existing mortgage, penalty if you have to, or if you don't like to pay penalty, Ukraine Credit Union offer the option of porting your existing mortgage to your new property. Because as you see an example before, so they had the mortgage for over 800,000, but they needed new mortgage for 775. So we will port the old mortgage to new mortgage. So we don't lose any money. We don't lose the mortgage. We're just replacing the property it's secured by. So we don't charge you any penalty. And you can keep your beautiful rate if you have a rate you like. So you just port it. Or another option we kind of legally you can do, you can transfer your mortgage to your new owner. Let's say you don't need mortgage on the new property, you're downsizing. So, but you don't want to pay penalty because that's a huge amount. So, and you talk to the new owner, and if they agree to take the existing mortgage on the same conditions, so we will allow it to do without paying any penalty. And if you downsize and you have leftover money, or like in my example I showed you, they have 130,000 left when they moved to Barrie from Toronto to invest, talk to our wealth management specialist or in the branch for options. You can invest in JC or investment shares, or you can invest on the open market in stocks and bonds or mutual funds. Okay, so now I open for any questions you might have. And thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Vlad. That was very interesting. A lot of stuff that I never thought about. And, you know, also a lot of stuff I did think about. I just recently downsized myself. So I can't stress the fact how helpful my real estate agent was. It was really good to have not tried to do this on my own. And he really helped out, made me not have to worry about anything. Sure, it cost a couple of bucks, but it was worth every penny. Even just in the peace of mind. Anyway, so we have a couple of questions, and if anyone else has questions, please type them into the chat. and we'll try to answer them. The first one is, can I use my RRSP for down payment even if this isn't my first home, if I'm, upsizing or downsizing a home?
Yeah, thank you, Yuri. It's an excellent question. Yeah, in the first webinar, we were talking about first-time home buyers and how you can use your RSP for down payment without paying any taxes. Unfortunately, to be able to use that program, which Canadian government allows you for home buyers plan, they call it, to take money from RSP up to 25,000 for each co-borrower. It's available only for people who didn't own any property last 5 years. So since we talking about selling and buying at the same time, I assume you're a homeowner at the moment. So which means, unfortunately, you cannot use your RSP at this time. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, and if you still have a mortgage when you're selling the current house, do you have to pay any penalty for, if you're changing to a different, if you're selling before you finish the mortgage, I guess?
Yeah, I mentioned that, yeah, the penalty if you pay your mortgage down. So basically you breach the contract, because usually the mortgage has a term, and if it's not up to renewal, the term is not up, it's not matured. Yeah, you in general you have to pay penalty, but you have few options. So one I mentioned, you can transfer your mortgage to new property, you can transfer your mortgage to new owner, or sometimes you sell the house and you didn't buy anything yet. So what Ukraine Credit Union would let you do, so if you buy the new property, yeah, you pay the penalty, and then, but if you within 30 days, you can buy the new property. So we will 3 months. Then we will give you back 100% of the penalties. And if you over 3 months, then but up to 6 months, then we will pay you back 50% of the penalty you paid. So you have a chance to buy new property within 3 months, then you get 100%, or between 3 and 6 months, you get 50% of penalty back.
And that's obviously providing that you take your mortgage again with Ukrainian Credit Union.
That's exactly, that's correct.
If you go somewhere else, that you lose that.
Then the whole thing you have to pay.
And I know you have to think pretty hard about it, because unless you're saving a significant amount on the interest, paying the penalty is sometimes not worth it. So you got to.
That's why I'm saying before you even go in the market and you start thinking about moving from one to another direction, you need to meet with some Ukraine Credit Union specialists and talk and calculate everything. What would happen if I pay off the mortgage? What would happen? Would I qualify for this mortgage? What my expenses, and put all numbers together so you see the whole picture, because you wouldn't realize how people may surprise they, oh, it's this expenses. I thought it wouldn't be this. And then when you see the whole picture, they may reconsider the whole thing. So go and see the specialist, talk to the specialist so you can understand all your options.
That's very good advice. Do your research first. And, just because it's such a recent experience for me, I had a spreadsheet when I was selling my house, and I added everything to how much is the electrician going to cost me? How much is the painter's going to cost me to repaint all the rooms a neutral color? How much is the cleaning lady going to charge to come and, do a final sweep of the house after I've moved everything out? And that way I knew pretty well to the penny what my lawyer is going to charge me, what the real estate agent's going to charge me. So at the end of the day, I knew what I was going to be left with, and what consequences would be.
Yeah, that's exactly what everyone has to do.
And I'm the type of person, I feel a lot better when I know. I hate surprises when it comes to finances.
Right.
Okay, another question is, will I pay real estate commission on both the selling and the buying ends of the transaction?
Yeah, it's a good news. I mentioned that you pay the real estate fee when you sell the house, but you don't pay any fee when you buy the house. So basically, all fees paid by the seller, and your real estate agent gets paid from the seller's real estate. So you pay just once on the selling, and you don't pay on buying.
Okay, well, ooh, we got a little bit of an echo there. So that, I think that's it for the questions. If you have any other questions, Vlad, can you put out, yeah, there's your contact information. If you have any other questions or you want to ask something that requires more confidentiality than you don't want to ask it publicly, please give Vlad a call or one of the other lenders. Vlad is reachable at 416-762-6961, extension 138, and at vkarman@ukrainiancu.com. Of course, if you're outside of Toronto or one of the other branches, please visit our website, find your local branch, and give them a call. They will understand the local market well, and will be able to advise you on what's happening there if it's different from Toronto. Anyway, so if you are interested in additional webinars, please visit our website, ukrainiancu.com. We've got a bunch more scheduled in September, October, and even into the early part of November so far. Thank you very much. Have a great day, and we will be posting a recording of this on YouTube as soon as it is available, so you can listen to it again if you want, or share it with people who you think might be interested. Thank you, Vlad, and thank you everyone who attended.
Have a
Bye.
great day. Bye-bye.